Hello, my name is Lisa Burzell, and we're going to be talking about setting up an airbrush workstation this time around. What we love about the airbrush, how it goes about spraying infinitely controllable color, can get away from us and generate one of the more frustrating issues that we all have to deal with, which is overspray. If we're airbrushing details and accenting small pieces, we can airbrush all day long at our station without creating a problem. We're typically using a top feed airbrush, gravity style, and a fairly low PSI for this detail work. But when we have to airbrush a 3-tier cake, we have a tendency to crank up the PSI and go to town. This is when the problems start. Spray long enough, and we'll get a cloud in the air that's more than happy to settle onto every nearby surface. So let's see what we can do to control overspray. First, let's look at an overspray shield. Maybe you just do the occasional big spray. Sometimes moving a cake from station to station isn't an option. A simple $5 piece of cardboard from the craft store is an easy-to-use, easy-to-store solution. As handy as this is, it's not a good option when you start using airbrush more and more in your decorating routine. A shield will catch overspray, but not all of it. Second thing to consider, ventilation. Doors, windows, and vents in a room create their own airflow. The overspray cloud will follow this already established air current. Depending on the filtration of the heating and cooling system, overspray can be sucked up from one room and routed to the next. Fans can redirect overspray. A do-it-yourself option is to take a $4 furnace filter and tape it onto the back of a $20 box fan. Why the back? Because we want the fan to suck in and trap the overspray in the filter, not blow it around the room. The downside is only the overspray in front of the filter will get trapped. There's nothing to funnel the rest of the overspray. A complete spray booth combines both a shield and a fan. You can make your own, MacGyvering it with anything that you have around, like shower curtains, cardboard boxes, box fans, filters, stove vent hoods, duct tape, again, whatever you have. Or there are complete systems available from a variety of suppliers. Here we have an example of a modular system courtesy of CakeSafe. The last thing to consider is lighting. Keep lighting in mind when you find that final location for your spray booth. You don't want to all of a sudden be working in your own shadow, so be prepared to have to add a light or two to the workstation. Finally, and most important, you have to feel comfortable at that workstation. Have enough elbow room to either sit or stand when you're airbrushing. Find a nice place for your airbrush holder. Have cabinets for your airbrush colors, file folders for your stencils, cubbies for your tools. In other words, make the area your workstation. Next time we'll look at the different airbrush colors and we'll actually start doing some basic airbrushing.